Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the Trained Unprofessional, and welcome back to Repeat, the update 0.5.3. We just got one hell of a memory from a childhood Owen's perspective. Loud-ass car in the background. My eyes shot open as I suddenly gasped for air. Echo floated above my head with a worried frown. You okay there, John? You've been out of it for like 20 minutes. I think I'm okay, just a bit shaken. I wasn't sure what I expected, but it certainly wasn't that. What'd you see? I pulled myself off the floor and tried to shake off the incoming headache. I saw Owen's mother fighting with the Loreleys. Samuel and Owen's uncle were there too. It sounded like they did this pretty often. My slowed breathing finally returned to a normal, even pace. I rubbed my blurry eyes with exhaustion. I can't blame Owen for being frustrated with not knowing anything when things like this were happening to him every day. Anyway, I think I'm fine now. Let's keep searching. Well, we already did the desk, so I don't know why that's an option again. Let's go for the bookshelves. Owen's mother must have been a big book lover. There's enough here to fill a library. All the books looked well worn too, and not just placed as decorations to make the homeowner look smart. I wonder where I should start looking. Well, let's start at the top and work our way down. I had to stand on a nearby stool to actually reach the top shelves. They were packed with homeschooling textbooks and education guides. The practice workbooks were all fully completed with impressive marks. There was a note stuck to the middle of the shelf that read, "Samuel, maybe we should move the books lower where Owen can actually reach them." It looks like Samuel wrote a reply on the bottom that said, "I'll do it later." The books are still on the top shelf. I peered around the bookshelves curiously. A copy of Parenting for Dumbasses was shoved into one of the eye-level shelves, where there appears to be a copious amounts of notes scribbled on the inside, and the bookshelf was chock full of sticky notes. One of them read, "The great Heather Adlai can face off against armed gunmen, but still can't hold a fucking baby properly." The note under it, written in incredibly neat and sophisticated cursive, read, "Shut up, Graham." The rest of the book was littered with similar snide remarks from its readers. Bottom shelf. Nearby, there were several psychological self-help guides scattered along the bottom shelf. One in particular, a study on empathy, contained well-worn pages as though it had been read and reread countless times. Does anything else pop up? I guess we've already read all of that. Now to the drawers. Gingerly, I opened up one of the bigger drawers in the large desk sitting in the room. What is it? There's a little journal here. Looks like it's bounded by a lock, though. The journal was bounded in handsome leather and aged paper. It has the look of something heavy with history. Fuck off. Echo, any chance you can unlock it for me? What am I, your personal lockpicker now? With a sigh, Echo snapped his fingers melodramatically. The lock in the journal opened with a sharp click. Let's see what we have here. Holy Jesus! Dear Diary. No, too juvenile. Hello, too dull. Fuck you too. Apparently writing in the journal helps one mediate their thoughts. I'd scheduled an appointment with my psychiatrist instead, but poor Dr. Hansen was found murdered in his office several days ago. Looks like the Loreleys finally caught up with him. I still believe keeping a journal is a major security risk, but Samuel insisted that I look after my mental well-being. Oh, speaking of, I have officially hired Samuel Clark and Graham Belladonna as my protectors today. The Adlai slaughter incident was only a few weeks ago, so it wouldn't hurt to stay on high alert. Samuel is famed for the skill of his craft and takes care of any danger swiftly. The way he almost worships me like a hero is rather tiring, but I am safe with Samuel protecting me. Graham, on the other hand, he still does not trust me. Probably never will. There's a large gap on the page under this entry, as if Heather stopped writing for a little bit. P.S. I finally got rid of Samuel's horrible punk haircut this afternoon. Graham held him down while I trimmed away the god-awful mohawk. Success. I wish Samuel screamed a little less, though. The neighbors probably called the cops on us. This feels a little sacrilege. We are reading a diary. But we're already infiltrating, like, a sanctuary, so this is... If this doesn't get the shit kicked out of us, then nothing will. It still astounds and shocks me that I will be a mother soon. Me, someone with as much blood on their hands as I, should never be near children, but here I am. It scares me to wonder what kind of person my child will grow up to be, but one thing is certain. I will raise and groom him to be free of the Lorelei and Adlai family's influences. He will grow up to be a kind and compassionate young man, someone who will use his heritage for the greater good and perhaps end the mess that is this two families. Someone his mother could never be. I've arranged our home on Derry Street so that my child would not encounter any information about the two families. I made it clear to dear Oleander that any attempts to contact my child will be met with retaliation. He will be born into an unforgiving world, but the least I can do is ensure that he enjoys an untainted childhood. My child is due within a month or two, but we're still struggling to name him. I made it clear that Samuel II is out of the question. Samuel was heartbroken. I suggested an older name like Fleamont, but when I mentioned it, Graham choked on his morning coffee and flipped me off. I guess that's also a bust. There was a small sentence scribbled slightly at the bottom of the page. P.S. Oleander sent me a letter of this afternoon and suggested Owen. Interesting. Babies are disgusting. Please stop crying. What is that? Please stop crying? That's all it said. Graham sat me and Samuel down this afternoon to thoroughly demonstrate how to hold a baby. Owen is much cuter when he's not screaming at the top of his lungs. He also threw up on Graham a minute later. I've never been more proud. Someone had interrupted the entry by scribbling under it in aggressive red ink. Without me, this household would slide into the fucking ocean. Graham, I swear to God, if you interrupt one more time, I'll fucking castrate you. Afraid that ain't possible, darling. Good try, though. A little interesting that they would have a written conversation. What? Oh, like a written conversation back and forth in a diary? I don't understand that. Owen began teething today. Apparently babies have exceptionally strong jaws. We rushed Samuel to the hospital this afternoon to stitch up his finger. Owen looked very smug the whole time. Graham joked that he inherited his mother's ferocity. Hearing this saddens me somewhat. I was hoping he'd take after his father. Today was Owen's 10th birthday. Wow, these are really spaced out. Samuel bought him a motorcycle, which was a terrible idea in itself, but that's not the worst part. He searched through the entire city, pointed at the ugliest vehicle in existence, and said, "I want that one." This thing, it taunts me. That hideous shade of orange with clown shoes, yellow handles. It's proof that God has a sick sense of humor. I allowed Samuel and Owen to keep it, if only to hope that they crash it as soon as possible. P.S. It has been a week. Samuel and Owen crashed the motorcycle into our neighbor's house. I rejoiced. Nobody got hurt much. Samuel needed stitches again. And that thing was completely crushed. Imagine my horror when I found it standing in our driveway this morning, fully repaired and threatening me with its existence. It turns out Graham had it fixed. I liked it. It always managed to piss you off more than I ever could. This man is going to be the death of me. At least Owen seems happy about it. Owen snuck out of the house this morning, and we didn't find him until tonight. He is quite the adventurous fellow. I'd be proud if it didn't worry me so much. It's dangerous for him to wander out of the house with the Lorelei still targeting us. Still, it's good to see him go out and make friends in the world. Graham found Owen playing with a small homeless boy and a sickly little girl outside of the hospital this afternoon. They became fast friends. That's Sissel and Jenny, in case any of you are kind of slow on the uptake. Owen's begged me to go back and play with them. I was tempted to say yes, but Owen's safety takes priority. He was very disappointed. There's a little more writing on the other side of the page. P.S. Later today, Owen stole my credit card and attempted to pay for his new friend's hospital bills and school supplies. I pretended not to notice. Here's the last one. The Lorelei's attacks on our household have become increasingly frequent lately. Samuel and Graham have become exhausted in their constant vigilance. We've had Owen retreat to the safe room practically every day to ensure his safety. The Loreleys are growing bolder, breaking into the house in broad daylight and armed to the teeth. I've managed to keep Owen in the dark about his heritage and situation, but he's grown frustrated with all the unanswered questions. I'm not sure how long we can keep this charade going. Dots? More dots? It just hit me that I've been living with Owen, Samuel, and Graham for almost 12 years. 12 years with just the four of us. Growing up in the Adlai family was strange. I never had people to just sit down with at a dinner table and vent the day's frustrations to. Never had anyone to attempt to cook for, or knit sweaters for, or terrorize the neighbors with. We fought together, laughed together, and it's been nice. Raising Owen with these two have been a privilege. Since the beginning, I did not once believe that this home would last forever, but when it is over, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this family. Well, there's nothing else to read, so let's stop reading. Guess the only thing left is the paper cranes. Glanced up at the paper cranes hanging around the room like a glittering cascade. We searched through the room. I had the sneaking suspicion that they were almost watching our every move. Each one glowed lightly when I turned towards them. Hello? Can you hear me? Suddenly the room was alive with hundreds of tiny whispering voices. Each paper crane spoke to the other in hushed voices, watching me intently. Suddenly one of the cranes broke off from its string and gently fluttered down onto the palm of my hand. It looked fragile, like a stray wind could accidentally tear it beyond repair. They're trying to tell you something. They're saying that they are formless. They are the formless wish of Owens and Lorelei. Echo cocked his head to the side, as if listening intently to a silent speaker. They said that their name is Layla. I blinked at the tiny origami in my hands. Formless wish. It means they don't have an actual body like I do. They exist as a formless entity within all these paper cranes. The cranes in the room suddenly hissed angrily at Echo's appearance, their tiny bodies thrashing against their strings. Echo laughed awkwardly and took a few steps backwards. Oh boy, they don't like the fact that I'm here. They want me to leave. What? Why? I glanced up at the overhanging origami with a frown. Hey guys, you can trust Echo here. He's a nice guy, I promise. No, it's fine. I don't blame them for being fidgety. To them, I smell kind of bad. Well, I think you smell fine, and that you should stay. The paper crane's thrashing reluctantly died down as they turned their attention back to me. He smells bad to them. It's because he's turning into a corrupted wish. Echo's ears twitched as more whispering hazed through the silence of the room. They're saying that they need your help. Layla says they want you to help grant Owen's wish. I want to help them, but I'm not even sure what Owen wished for. The origami birds fluttered lightly in reply. Echo glanced up at them uneasily. A memory. They said they want to show you a memory. They want you to use your camera to them like you did earlier. You don't say. The cascade of paper cranes rustled as if in agreement. I get pretty tired when I do this, but I guess I could take another shot. I fiddled with the camera hanging from my neck and pointed it at the massive paper in the room. If it meanings helping Owen. Another quick memory dive wouldn't hurt. Here goes nothing. Here we go again. Keep rolling, keep rolling. Everyone was gone. Questions clawed at the back of my mind. No answers came. Secrets. What good are they when you're dead? Who are you? Who am... They did that last time. I huddled in the blankets of my mom's bed, closed off from the rest of the world. She was here just a few days ago, and now she's gone. Uncle Graham disappeared too. We haven't seen him for weeks. I don't understand. Why do these things keep going wrong? Samuel never answered any of my questions. He never did. Did he miss Mom and Uncle Graham as much as I did, or was he too busy to keep in secrets to care? I'm growing tired. There was a knock at the door before Samuel slowly peeked inside. Hey kid, you doing alright in there? His voice sounded ragged, as though he'd been crying too. I didn't answer him. I pulled the sheets closer and huddled into a tighter ball on my mother's bed. There were footsteps as Samuel walked over and tried to pat me on the head. I recoiled back. Samuel, can I ask you some questions? Samuel sighed tiredly, as like he always did when I brought this up. I pushed further. Who are you, really? Samuel stayed silent, no answer as usual. I try again. Why do people keep trying to hurt me and Mom? Who are they? No answer. Why did Mom have to die? Look, kid. Samuel rubbed the bridge of his nose. His one good eye squeezed shut in a poor attempt to hide his grief. I know it's a hard thing to hear, but your mother never wanted you to know these things. So I'm going to respect her wishes. I think it's best if... My mother is dead! Something inside me snapped. Oh no. Oh no, it's not this. I threw off the covers and landed heavily on my feet. My mother is dead and I have no idea why! My mother is dead and I'm being told not to ask questions! Tears threatened to escape from my eyes as I shouted blindly into the room. Who am I really? Why do people want me dead? Samuel snarled, his one sleep-deprived eye snapping with frustration. Finding out the truth doesn't always work out for the best. What makes you so sure of that? I hardly know my own life. What is so wrong with wanting some answers? Look, kid, this isn't the sort of thing... I'll tell you when you're older. What difference will that make? Everyone's already dead. Samuel's frustration finally got the better of him. He snarled. You're not the only one who lost someone, kid. I lost my family, too. Well, you can lose one more. I'm leaving. Where the hell do you think you're going? I was already halfway through the door. The paper cranes hanging above our heads suddenly seemed to spring to life, spiraling through the room as though caught by the freak wind. I turned back towards Samuel, breathless and weeping. Somebody out there has the answers I am looking for. If I can't get them from my own family, I'll get them from someone else. Oh my God. I slammed the door shut behind me and weakly fell to my knees. My breath was ragged as I knelt over and let out a broken and feral scream. I was tired, so tired. I want my life back. I want my family back. My eyes snapped open as I found myself lying prone on the bedroom floor. The paper cranes fluttered above me patiently as I struggled to sit upright. John, are you alright? Did you see what Owen's wish was? I nodded numbly and rubbed my head. Yeah, I did. But I'm not sure if I can help Owen with something so vague. He said he wants his family back, but I'm not sure there's a way I can help him with that when half his family is dead. I'm just one person. How am I supposed to help? Layla hummed lightly, their wings fluttering against the walls. I strained my ears against the silence. I swear I could almost hear a faint little voice. There is more to this family than meets the eye. Each have left secrets and ambitions that lasted beyond the grave. Owen will never find peace in this family until each of those secrets have been brought to light. Will you help us uncover them? I pressed my hand gently against the camera hanging from my neck. It felt very warm. I'll do my best. For Owen. The paper cranes in the room slowly stopped fluttering, the house becoming silent once more. Dodds. This is a family built upon lies and good intentions. Owen will not like what he finds. To be continued. Yeah, fuck you. Go back. This is what they meant by Day 10 being only 30% done. If that was only 30%, holy shit. Let's see what the author's notes are. Hello, I'm Shirokoi, the stuff, and it's always the same, cool. Thanks again for playing. Okay, cool. Well, holy shit. That was way more emotional than I expected. I sent out a tweet after recording the first episode that Shirokoi apparently liked on Twitter, where all tweets are, or at least they should be, where I said that this update has some of the funniest shit in the game, and I guess I spoke too early saying that it just has some of the funniest stuff, because that was a lot. That was a lot of stuff that hit me more than I was expecting it to. Goodness gracious. So anyway, I'm kind of speechless. I'm sorry. This game is has some of the most frustratingly complicated things in it, and it honestly surprises me how many times I think of this game as being simpler than it is, because it's not simple at all. I want to check something real quick. Load game. Let me see if this appears to be the most recent. See if... No, okay, it didn't get updated. So let's skip. Cool. I just wanted to make sure that Sissel's run didn't get updated as well. So I always seem to forget that this game really is emotional. It really does have a lot of themes that hit closer to home than I ever give it credit for, and that's kind of unfair of me. I mentioned, I think, what was it, 2 episodes ago, or maybe just the last episode, that if I had the time at the end of an episode, I was going to talk about whether or not it was my favorite. Well, I have the time, and I kind of just want to talk for a little bit. Every game I've played has its upsides. I honestly, the last time I ever played a game that I honestly felt had literally no upside to it at all, it was just a miserable experience, was probably when I played the Game Boy version of The Hunt for Red October on the channel, and that video isn't even up anymore because holy shit, that was terrible. But every visual novel I've played so far has something. Even, like, I had a terrible time with Morinatsu, but that game has charm. That is a charming game, and the art is great, and I'm sure in its original Japanese it's not written terribly, as we've not had to deal with any shoddy translations or anything like that. My eyes are just not opening as much as they're supposed to. I'm sorry. I kind of have nerve damage on this eye, on the eyelid, so it kind of droops every once in a while. But, right now, I mean, Major Minor has art. It's a great visual game, and every episode leaves you wanting to know more of what the fuck is going on in this world. And the sound direction is great, and I think it's a great game. Extracurricular activities, while not personally my favorite art style, it's a emotionally challenging one. I don't mean challenging as in like it's hard to relate to it. I mean that it it doesn't hold back on what it's trying to do. Now, whether or not I agree with what it's trying to do, in particular with, like, Darius, that's whatever. Blackgate is very emotional, very striking, very curious, that game is, and I'm very... that's the game that I keep thinking, I just want to keep playing that, regardless of if it's a good episode for recording, because I just want to know more. But this game, Repeat, I love the art, though it's not the highest produced art. It's emotional. It's very emotional. I love the emotions involved in this, even though it's not the most complicated in terms of what you're supposed to feel. I love the characters, even though if you boil them down, it's kind of a trope city. It's not cliched at all. And it's very charming, and the plot is intriguing. It doesn't rely on otherworldliness in order to be interesting. Like, it has otherworldly attributes, of course, with the wishes, but the plot with the Oleanders and the Loreleis and Sissel's emotional struggle, and with Philip's tortured background, and Owen's, oh my god, Owen's route is the biggest surprise so far. I mean, I haven't seen Philip's route at all, and to my knowledge, I don't believe that's been updated. Let me see. Yeah, still unavailable. So, let's... how do I get back? Let me... Yeah, let's just quit. Go back to the main menu. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Is it okay? I mean, it looks fine. I accidentally closed the game when I didn't mean to. But, I mean, I'm not playing the game, so I might as well not have the fucking game on. But, just checking the file to make sure it's fine. But anyway. But yeah, this game, if there ever was a game where I would consider it, like, the whole package, it's probably this game. And out of the visual novels I've played so far, it's up against some very stiff competition, but I would definitely say it's my favorite. And it's not because, as some people have rumored, that I'm best friends with Shirokoi. I've mentioned before, I honestly don't know if he gives a shit whether I lived or died. That has nothing to do with it. But I will say that this game is definitely my favorite out of visual novels that I've played so far. It's not my favorite game of all time, of course. That's Paper Mario 2, and that'll probably never change. But, yeah, it's... I don't know even where I'm going with this. That last bit just kind of shook me a little bit, so I guess I just wanted to ramble, but I'm kind of out of rambling time, so I guess I'll just wrap this up. So, thank you all very much for watching this episode, the last episode of the latest update for Repeat. There's only 3 episodes out of the biggest update that's ever been done, but goddamn, these 3 episodes packed a punch. So I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. I look forward to seeing what comes out of the next few updates, and I really look forward to enjoying them with you. And let's just see where this game keeps going. But that has been Repeat Build 0.5.3. I have been Decker Link, the Trained Unprofessional, and I speak for the voices in my head when I say until next time, fare thee well. Bye, everyone. Gotta leave the energy out for the dubstep. I don't know when the music started, but... Ooh.